In this episode, we are going to be making the clochette. I'll show you my technique for how I add the lining to this fairly delicate piece, as well as the clochette strap. We will also be covering my current technique for making the padded crossbody shoulder strap. Begin by marking out the stitch holes on the strap and the clochette, as well as the two slits. You can also punch the center hole for the clochette strap. You'll also want to add your guide marks for your lining. And finally, on your lining pieces, give yourself the marks for your skive. The exact measurement of this skive isn't that critical, just as long as you're skiving out to 0. These are two very simple skives, and at this point in the project, you should be pretty comfortable skiving out to 0. You can then add glue to your lining pieces, the main panel of the clochette, as well as the strap. Once your glue has had time to set up, you can stick together your lining pieces to the main panel and fold the strap. If you were to fold the strap from one end to the other, you would end up with a fairly curved piece. So in order to keep this strap as straight as possible, start in the middle, fold the two halves together, and then move over a couple centimeters and fold that piece in half, and then connect the two sections. You can see as I work down the strap how I'm doing that. This is going to result in a much straighter strap than if you were to start at one end and work to the other. If you are working with a softer tempered leather like Auburn Sully, then you will be able to form and bend this strap straight, even if it is fairly curved. As usual, I use my round awl in all of the corner sections, as well as the start and stop point of the stitch run. I'm also going to double punch the clochette, so I'm going to punch all the way around on both sides, glue it together, and then I will stitch without a cast. Alternatively, you could glue your clochette together and then simply punch straight through. Because the strap is fairly narrow, there's not a lot of wiggle room when it comes to punching your stitch holes. So I suggest using a pair of dividers, giving yourself a center line to ensure you're punching everything straight. You'll also want to use a ruler to back up your strap, ensuring that it stays nice and straight while you punch. For the slits at either end, I use my round awl for the start and stop points. To cut the two slits on either end of the strap, I'm going to sandwich the strap between two rulers to keep it straight, and then I'm going to use my skiving knife lined up with that center mark to cut the long strap. This ensures I get a nice clean straight cut from point to point. For the short slit, I'm going to use my X-Acto blade, pressing down, trying to cut in one straight motion with very little starting and stopping. You can now trim the excess lining. You can also add an edge crease to the strap as well as the clochette. For the lining, you only need to add an edge crease to the front edge and the two wings. You'll want to add a bit of edge finish to the center hole on the clochette. You can also stitch and edge finish the strap. And don't forget to add edge finish to the large slit on the end of the strap. With the center hole finished, you can now glue the clochette together, making sure you're only adding glue to the sides. Stitching is as normal. In this case, for the back stitch, I'm going to glue the last thread in place and trim it. And the last step is to edge finish the clochette. Make sure you redefine that crease line and start adding your edge paint. You do have the option of pre-finishing the very front open edge before you edge finish the sides. I've chosen to do the edge finishing all at once because I find it a bit easier. To assemble the clochette, you'll insert the one end of the strap with the short slit and then attach the key to that end. And to hang this around the bag handle, we will simply loop this around the handle and then insert the clochette through the long slit. And that is the completed clochette with its strap. For our shoulder strap, we're going to start by gluing our padding to the bottom leather. This strap is longer than we need. It will get cut to length once we take our final measurement from the main panel. To make sure that our strap stays straight, I'm going to place a long ruler on the padding and then place my lining leather along that ruler on the padding material. This ensures that the leather portion of the strap stays nice and straight and not crooked. You can then trim the excess padding. You will need to skive out the padding on the ends of this piece. You can either do this now on one side and then finish the other side once you have the final measurement for this piece, or you can just wait, get that final measurement, and then skive out both ends at the same time. You have a few different options when it comes to reinforcing the ends. I'm using Velodon here. You could instead glue a second piece of leather here. It's going to add a bit of thickness, but with that added piece of leather, it's going to prevent any stretching over time. I'm using Velodon because I prefer the thinness of the material, keeping the strap fairly delicate in its hand. Before you install the hardware, you're going to need to pre-finish the two ends. Starting from the middle of the curve, I would pre-finish up to the end of the strap, and then the same distance going to the inside of the strap. With your reinforcement in place and the edges pre-finished, you can now install the hardware. You're going to add glue to the end portion of the strap and the same amount on the other side, leaving the center portion with no glue. This portion is marked on the template with the two lines. You can then use your template to mark the 2 start holes on each end of the strap. You also want to be sure to skive down the interior portion of that strap. You can now glue the 2 straps together. The length of the shorter strap should be about 800 millimeters, but you might want to take a measurement off of your strap just in case it's different. To get this measurement, you're going to measure between the start and stop points that you just made in the previous step. We're going to use the same ruler trick to make sure that our strap stays nice and straight while we glue down the padded lining. We're going to place one end of the straps right at the holes that we made in the previous step, lay down our strap, and then make sure it lines up perfectly with the other end, matching up exactly with those holes that again we made in the previous step. Before you start punching the stitching holes, you're going to want to add your edge crease along the top edge. Once you've punched your holes, go ahead and redefine that crease line, and then you can get to stitching. Stitching this length of strap can sometimes be a little intimidating. To make it a bit more efficient, I only work in arm length sections of thread. So that means I pull an arm's length of thread, wax it, stitch that length, stop, finish that stitch line, and then do it again. I can do this because the lining hasn't been trimmed to length, so I can finish the stitch, tie a knot, and then glue that finished stitch between the layers of leather. This results in a stitch line that looks seamless even though you've started and stopped multiple times. And the last and final step would be to add your edge finish. And that wraps up this video. The next video in the series will be the last, where we bring the whole bag together. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.